Well, hello everyone again. Today we have Gundam Converge number EX25. It is of the Crossbone Gundam X1 in full cloth version. The chassis of this thing is called XM-X1. This toy is from 2019. It's a really small EX series. This box, that's what I'm saying. EX is usually come in huge boxes, but I guess this is a pretty small figure. Nice little promo shots. It looks like there's a stand and a couple of different weapon choices there. Legal jargon. Okay. Here's fandom. A little story about the X1. Basically, they're fighting around Jupiter, and who's piloting it and all that stuff. It's never a cartoon show, only in a manga cartoon book. So this gum, ooh, that's looking pretty gross. Sorry, you gotta focus on that one because that one's nasty. Some instructions. Just one little piece of paper. Hopefully I can figure this out without it, but you never know. Alright, you paused on that text, and I'm gonna close this window out. And there are some images, the manga book cover, line drawings, and this is a core fighter that becomes the 4 jet wing propulsors, and the cockpit, I guess, is in the chest. Seems like 2 bags going on here. Let's get the scissors. Careful not to cut through that toy. Oh, look at that. There's actually a skull and crossbone stand. That's pretty neat. So this is nice. The arms are not attached to the torso. I always have to spend time breaking the paint free, but now the paint should hopefully have dried properly. The head is still attached though. I might have to break that free. Not too sticky though. I don't know why there isn't a cartoon around this Crossbone. I think it's a really cool looking figure. I made a high grade model kit of this thing a long time ago. Let's see. I guess the bones are supposed to be in the front, so I think it's supposed to go in this way. The stand, that is. Alright, there's a little printing, Bandai on the bottom, and a bunch of production numbers. Alright, let's start with the torso. Okay, well, in the middle we got skull and crossbones, and you got some black in the middle of the eyes, so that's looking pretty neat. The crossbones are raised a tiny bit, that's how they got the white on there nicely. This groove here is nicely done because there's red paint in it. This little red here, a little yellow on the tips of the cloth outfit. Some bit of yellow here on these little cannons, I think. I think this is a separate piece. I think they painted that yellow first and then added this on top of it. This actually is PVC, I think, because it flexes quite a bit. I wonder if this is the first mold and they just added these parts on top of it. Round peg holes for the arms, and then, yeah, the feet here. I think there's going to be options with the feet. And then pretty nicely thin looking ankle guards. I don't know if these are thrusters or what, probably. Let's go to the head. And now the head has nice green eyes, translucent. Or not. Wait a sec. No, they are translucent. They're just so dark. But there is light bouncing around in there. Can't really see much behind it though. Alright. And then some of this cloth stuff on the helmet itself. It's red on the inside. This purplish or dark blue on the outside. And then you got these antennae. Oh, it's just one antenna with red on it. These antennae are yellow. Skull and crossbones on that. So not bad for a head. A round peg, pretty plain back. The neck doesn't have any color. Round hole. The chin is colliding with the torso, but you can press it down and it'll be like that, or lift it up a little bit and get some decent rotation. I'll just leave it straight for now. Alright, the arm. Oh, it's got a peg going all the way, a hole going all the way through it. Whoa, this is wacky. The shoulder piece is like a skull, kind of, with some funky teeth, fangs or something. Whoa. The hand is a separate piece. It's a round hole in there to hold weapons, and so you can rotate the hand. It's a gunmetal paint on the hand. All this is pretty much matte finish. This red, this white, this blue, it's all matte. So I'm assuming this is the right arm. Oh, that peg's pretty big. Or that hole is pretty small. That's weird. I feel like you might want to drill out that hole a little bit, or scrape a little bit of plastic off this. I can't get it to land home all the way. Let's kind of stretch out eventually, hopefully. Maybe that's why they leave the arms in the other converges, because that hole might shrink. But if the peg was peg was in there all the time, it would keep the hole open. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. I'm not liking that. So you just gotta keep forcing it in there. Eventually that hole should widen. Oh wow, I think I'm messing up this thing. What to do? Maybe put some oil on it? Let me figure something out. So I ended up just taking a hobby knife and shaving off a little bit from each side. So it'll compress, the wide part, but hopefully spread out. So obviously you can take more off, but then it'll become very loose. Okay, so the arms are on. So this hand as well, both hands have holes for weapons, and they can rotate within their wrists. And we'll still have to figure. Oh, what? Look at this! It still pushed it out. That was pushed in, but the hole in the torso is pushing the pegs out. Let's see if they'll spread out later in the video. Nope, it came out again. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but you gotta take off more material. Cut a little more off. We'll have to see if it holds. Okay, so we have 4 of these cloth wing things, and I'm thinking those actually go into the shoulders. As to which ones are front and back, let's see if they're identical. These two look identical. This one looks like... Oh, no, it is different. Or is it? Maybe it's just because it's bent improperly. I'm just looking at these claw things. I thought this was different. I think it's just out of shape. So, oh no, I am mistaken, because there's a groove on these two. There's no such groove on these two. So, boy, those instructions are so small you can't even tell. Where's the original box? I would have guessed the ones with the openings would be up front, but no, according to this, these are the front ones. And then the white things go to the outside. So that goes in there. And then this must be the corresponding back one if it has the opening in it. I guess you could obviously flip it around if you think it looks better. But I'll just go with the instructions for now. So this is the back one, and this is the front one. Yeah, so if you take off too much material from the shoulder, with all this weight on it, the shoulder's going to have a hard time staying in place. So do be careful of that. That shoulder still won't go on though, even though I took off so much material. Alright, anyways, so now we have the cloth going on there. Let's pop the head back on here. Oh, there's an optional mouthpiece. So this is the typical Gundam mouth or face, I think. Closed kind of looking chin. But apparently this comes out somehow. It's really small. Is that green piece is separate? Nope. Alright, the green is already molded in. Alright, so look at these differences. This one has almost no eyes. It's like the mouthpiece raised up and covered up the eyes like as a shield. But then some gold opening. It's like it has a gold grill or something. So there's just a peg here, but it's mostly the side chin pieces, or the cheeks, I think they're holding that thing in. But you can push it back, land it home. Yeah, I don't really like that look. It looks kind of like a old samurai mask or something, which for some reason I don't really care for. So you saw what it looks like, but I'm going back to the original one. I want my Gundam to look like a Gundam. Alright, so yeah, that looks like a Gundam to me. I'm cool with that look. Alright, well, we got a jetpack back here. Pretty short peg, though. Oh boy, this thing's really bent, or is it purposely bent? I think this is supposed to be an X, not a... I don't know. Doesn't look right. But we'll see what happens. Might be done on purpose. You just never know. No, I doubt it, because it's a horizontal. I thought it was going to be like this, but this makes no sense at all. And this... Hold on, let me get it in the back. Yeah, so... you gotta take it in hot water and bend it outwards like that. Or bend this one inwards. But clearly they're not very even right now. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I don't know, something with the optical illusion of this paint. It's not even going to the center of the circle. It's like down here. Like this side looks more even. But I think it's just a lack of paint here that makes it look really bad, on top of the fact that it's not molded well. Where it's molded well, it just didn't come out of the mold evenly. So you had to bend it back. What I do like are the thrusters. They're very deep, you know, and it's all gunmetal, so it looks like a thruster would be made out of metal to me. I see the head got knocked off somewhere along the way. The head pin is really loose. It's not as tight as the shoulders, that's for sure. Okay, so now we have two types of feet. Let's take a look. We have standing feet, and they have, you know, just standing details, I guess. You know what, I'm going to put them on so we can see what it looks like. They're at quite of an angle. Look at the angle that the side rocker is going for. So yeah, you can stand them up with the rest of your collection and it looks perfectly fine. It's pretty good actually. But I think I'm going to probably display it with the stand because I kind of like that crossbone skull stand. And now we have feet with pegs sticking out of them. So that's interesting. It must kick people in the head or something with spikes or something. But now it's not going to stand, of course, so we're going to plug it into the clear display stand here. There's a big peg on the bottom. And there we go now. Let's get this box out of the way. Alright, so with no weapons, it's actually a pretty cool looking figure, even without weapons. Now, let's talk about those weapons. Seems like we have three options. The first is just a sword, and it's got skull and crossbones on it. And it's got little grip grooves. I guess it's a sword in the off position. Let's get one of these. Oh, so here's an issue. Naturally, these little cloth things are coming with the arm, but so that's what that looks like. Now, I do feel like it would have been smarter to have these on the front because you could probably put the sword through that opening. Right? Maybe I'll do that later. So here's the sword, but now activated. I gotta say, I don't like this activation. It just seems weird to have this flat edge have these sticking out. It's almost like it has jet thrusters, like 7 jet thrusters coming out the side. I kind of feel like it would just been better to have like a triangle or something, but that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you think this activated blade looks good. To me, it looks a little weird. And then now it's actually, yeah, it's much wider. So you know what? I am going to swap these two backwards because I want to see the sword get through. Wow, I got to switch all four then in order to do this. So those will go on the other shoulder. Now I'm going to take this one with the slot, have that in the front. Oh, I see what the issue is. No. So in this case, the recess is here, but it's not much of a recess. This has no recess at all. But what I was thinking is maybe you could get the sword through it, but I don't think you can. Let me try on this side with this unactivated sword. See, if I put this here, can I get the sword through that opening? No, I don't. There's no way you can. I was trying to do this, but since the arm has no articulation whatsoever, you will never get that pin in there. Okay, well, we experimented, we tried, and we're going to have to go back to the way the instructions and the box art show. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's better than if it was just a straight edge. Alright, so I'm going to lose this because I don't like this thing at all. And now let's take a look at this, the actual crossbow for Crossbone. Painted on the bottom and the top nicely, a lot of grooves, stuff like that. Yeah, I like it. Let's pop this in the hand. I'm not going to push it all the way in because I feel it might collide, yeah, with the forearm. This little piece here, yeah. Okay, so again, that shoulder pin just wants to get thrown out. Fold that wing down right against the handle there. This thing here. I like that look. There's the back. So not bad. Let's get this thing spinning and looking at some other crossbones. I'm also gonna go try to straighten this. Alright, well, I'm gonna show off a couple other crossbones. This is an X-0. This is number 239 in the overall Converge lineup. It's got a cool silver finish, and this is cool. It's like a weird double-handled beam saber or something. Let's see, I have another X1 crossbone. Hold on, I fell off the peg stand. This one has a beam saber sword, and this is number 194. It also came with a pistol, but it wasn't an activated pistol, so I like the sword more. And then the last one I'm going to bring out is an X2 version of the crossbone. This is number 66, so kind of early in the Converge lineup. Yeah, let's see, put it up front. It's got a jousting thing and different antennae. Yeah, so that one's quite different. It also has the old school backpack where they're kind of fatter and they don't have the deep thrusters. Whereas these all have the more modern deep thrusters. Yeah. But this one has cool printing on the chest. Whereas these, well, these two at least have molded skull and crossbones on the chest. Alright, I think you saw them spin around enough. I think they're all pretty neat. I like this crossbone thing, as I mentioned, having built the model kit even. So I like this actual Converge as well. I guess the only issue is the fidgetiness of the elbow joint, not the elbow, the shoulder joints. It's just, they seem too big for the holes. In hindsight, it might actually be smarter to drill out the torso, make the holes a little bit bigger, instead of cutting off material from the shoulder. But to you. Thanks for watching today. I really like how this thing is flying though. Alright, we'll see you